So for those of you that have been hiding under a rock for any period of time that don't know, this is Jim Surace. Jim will be celebrating 40 years with American Income here in a couple of years. He started with the company when I was about 5 months old. And so you talk about longevity in this business. Some people are like 3 weeks, they're exhausted, they're ready to retire. Jim's approaching 40 years of being in the business. And, we call him the godfather of AIL because if you look at the promotions of just like the people that came out of Jim's agency, like started in his agency, this doesn't even include like promotions that we've had or promotions that other SJs have had, but the list, Marcus Smith, Zach Hart, Matt Hart, Travis Moody, Simon Arias, Kyle Lewicki, Mike Vasu, Jameson Weatherspoon, James Cunningham, Joey Desidue, Tyrone Kennard, Matt Parks, Mark Silvaggi, Pat Bendur, Dan Hartwig, Kyle Roble, Josh West, Nikki Sanders, Kevin Holtz, Andre McCollum, IP Harris. Every single one of those SGAs got their start in Jim Surace's agency. Mike Labasi, Senior Vice President with American Income Life, Renee Jeffries, Vice President, American Income Life, Steve Surace, Impact Director, American Income Life, Danny Jankowski, Director, American Income Life, Dave Guzman, Director, American Income Life, Phil Jenkins, Director with our sister company, Liberty National. If you add up the production from the agencies, just of the individuals that started their career with Jim Surace in Ohio, this year they will exceed over $70 million in net ALP. And so if you wanted to ever meet the Abraham of American Income, he's on our call today. And I was reading this from Tim Keller a while ago, and I'm not sure if I ever shared it with you, Jim, but it reminded me so much of you. And one of the things about Jim is that he is very unashamed of his belief and his Christianity and his faith in Christ. And this was from a Tim Keller book called Encounters with Jesus. And he's talking about Jesus, Jim, but it reminded me so much of you. Tim Keller writes, "It is this paradox that he is both God and human that gives Jesus an overwhelming beauty. He is the lion and the lamb. Despite his high claims, he is never pompous. You never see him standing on his own dignity. Despite being absolutely approachable to the weakest and broken, he is completely fearless before the corrupt and powerful. He has tenderness without weakness, strength without harshness, humility without the slightest lack of confidence, unhesitating authority with a complete lack of self-absorption, holiness and unending convictions without any shortage of approachability, power without insensitivity. I once heard a preacher say, no one has yet discovered the word Jesus ought to have said. He is full of surprises, but they are all surprises of perfection." And I know perfection is a high, thing to put something, put that on someone, Jim, but, it just reminded me so much of you when I read that. You've impacted me so much. You epitomize Maxwell's 5th level of leadership, which is driven by the word respect. You've challenged me to be the best man that I could be, not just at American Income Life. And Jim, I want you to know I love you. I appreciate you. And on a daily basis, I strive to make you proud, because you've given me so much. You've given so many people so much. And with that, I know everyone's super excited to hear from you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with our team today.
Wow. Hey, Mike, can you hear me okay?
We hear you perfectly fine, yes.
Well, that was probably the best introduction I've ever gotten in my 40 years. I just want, if you have that written down, could you send that to Nancy, though?
I will. We'll get it to her.